Hello and good evening. This is Ruth Stuettgen, Inspired Woman TV, coming to you live this evening for our regular Saturday night live. I'm going to be shining a light tonight on inspirational women and girls from across the world. Inspired Woman TV is all about shining a light, encouraging women to lead, to inspire and uplift and encourage other women and girls from across the world to share their wisdom and to just leave a legacy and to share what they've gone through and just create an incredible opportunity for women to learn from others. So this evening, I want to take the opportunity to highlight and shine a light on women and girls from across the world. I had the incredible opportunity to share the stage with hundreds of women from across the world several years back now, when we launched the book of Inspiration for Women by Women. And it is the Book of Inspiration for Women by Women is a collection of stories or messages of hope and inspiration and empowerment to help uplift women and to give them hope for those that need it. And in this book, we created this coffee table book so that we can share this hope with other people. So I want to share this with you. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to be reading a few messages from that book, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a background about the book and how it all started. It was around 2016, and I was at a workshop with my mentor and coach at the time, and she had this offer at the end for a publishing package, and I had this brilliant idea. I thought, okay, I wanted to write a second book or create a second one. I wasn't avidly planning it, but it came along, and there I was. I had the idea of, rather than it being stories or my own story or my own, or from my own point of view, that I would then create this incredible book. And that was the end result that you just saw there. So there are women from all over the world in this book, and they ranged at the time, I think the youngest was about 8, and the oldest was, I think, 85 or 86 at the time. So it's an incredible age range of ages. And for me, it was very interesting and very inspirational to be working with so many women from all over the world, and to learn from them, to be in their energy, and to just know that most women, or no, not most women, but all women actually go through something in our lives. That's just what life is all about. We go through things, it may be things that, you know, throw us right to the ground and makes us suffer, or makes us really incredibly sad and hopeless, where we lose hope and we don't know what to do. And then knowing that those women have gone through things like that and can encourage by sharing their story and their wisdom and what they've learned from it. That was an incredible, empowering situation to be in. And the Book of Inspiration, the idea that all this incredible energy can be in one book and then go across to all different corners of the world, it's very, very special. And leading up to International Women's Day, which is happening in 2 days on the 8th of March. So the annual day to celebrate women, to shine a light on them, and to, just show that women have come a really long way to be where we are today. And I want to encourage you, if you are going through anything that is disempowering, to know that there are other women who probably have walked the path that you are walking right now. And it's just a matter of seeking them out and hanging out with them, or getting inspiration or tips from them, and being encouraged that what you are going through can be overcome, and that it can make your load a lot lighter when you are going through it. So this book, the Book of Inspiration for Women by Women, this is how thick it is, if you can see it there. So it's quite a thick book, and we have around 250 women in there. And I'm going to read a few stories, a few of the messages, and then I'll talk about how it inspires me as well. So I haven't chosen any specific ones. I'm going to just flick through and open up onto a page and read that for you, and perhaps give a little bit of a background of that person. Now, I haven't met all of these women, but I've spoken to probably 99%, because at the time of creating the book, in the beginning, I was speaking to each and every one of them. And then towards the end, it was becoming such a humongous task. And I couldn't spread myself thinly, more thinner than what I was already spreading myself, to talk to each and every one of those beautiful ladies. So I had to get someone else to do it for me as well. But most of these women, I've actually spoken to them. Some of them I know personally. My 2 daughters are in the book as well, Laura and Emily. Close friends, their children. So there's been mothers and daughters and sisters. And so it's a really wide array of people. So the women come from, let me think. So Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, the UK, America, Canada, Germany, Spain, South Africa. I think I've managed to mention them all. Macedonia. So I think that's about it. So please excuse me if you're watching this and you're in the book. If I've forgotten your country, please, I apologize. So, and it was an incredible, as inspiring and as empowering it was a very draining experience, because there was so much going on. A lot of time was spent signing people on, looking for authors to join, chatting to them, doing the background work, making sure that everybody was up to scratch, bringing in their manuscripts and knowing what they needed to do. So I spent a lot of time on social media as well, because a lot of, or most of the authors came from finding them on social media, which in itself is very a positive experience, because without that, it would have been a much longer process, because the whole world is connected through social media. So I'm very grateful for that. Then I had people that were helping me behind the scenes. So virtual assistants, one was from Macedonia, and then two down in Australia. And I had an incredible lady who helped me launch the book. and of course my mentor who will help me through the process of doing it, and then the publisher. I'm not going to name any names right now because I want to just shine a light on the authors. And I know all of those people are in the book anyway, so if I touch on them, on their story, then I will briefly explain that or mention that they were the ones who helped me. So I'm very, very grateful and honored to have had that opportunity. And it wasn't smooth sailing all the time, but the whole intention around it with this project was to make a difference in the world, to help others, to bring together a big group of inspirational ladies and girls, and to shine a light on suffering and the fact and the experience that women, that we all go through things and that we come out on top. Okay, so I'm going to read a few of these messages. I'll just get some water. And while I have a sip, I would like you to enjoy the flowers in the background. They are sunflowers that we picked the day before yesterday. I had the opportunity to go away for a few days, and we went to the sunflower farm where we picked these beautiful sunflowers. So they are real. Okay, they're not fake, and the plant next to that is also a real one, just for you to enjoy. And in the background to my left, over my left shoulder, the vase that you can see is one of my favorite pieces as well, and the flower in there is not real. I got that flower at a conference, Christian Women in Business conference that I went to last year. Was it last year? 2020? Yes, I didn't manage to go to it this year. So that one was something that I have kept over from that. And the vase is one of my favorite pieces, and it's sitting on a ledge at the moment with that is not extraordinary wide, but on the other side of the ledge it's a staircase. So I hope the base of the vase is not very big, and the vase is actually very solid. It's made of solid wood. So if that goes flying, I hope that no one is standing on the other side. So here goes. So I'm going to just show you a little bit about the book. So that's the cover. I've showed that to you. Probably with the light, go this way. So there, that's the book cover. I'll go into the story behind the book cover another time. But the doves are for peace, and then all the different colors of the chakra, if you know that. So it's the book of inspiration for women by women, and I spearheaded it with the help of some beautiful ladies. So I'll read the introduction to you of what I've written, and then I'll go through a few of the messages that are in there. Okay, so the idea behind it was for each day there's a message, so you can use it on a yearly basis for the whole year. So you can have, day one, you can start from day one, and it's day one. And in fact, I just had an idea. I will read day one for you now after my introduction, or you can then follow it on a daily basis. So the 1st of January, inspiration number 1, 2nd of January, inspiration number 2, and so on. Or you can just flick through the book and just land on whatever page you need at the time. I firmly believe that sometimes we just land on that particular message that we need for that at that time in our life. So here goes. So I'm going to read something for you. Excuse me for not looking directly in the camera. That's why my introduction, okay, or my dedication, so to say. I'm incredibly smitten, proud, and honored to be surrounded by strong and inspirational women and girls. Bringing the book of inspiration for women by women to life has only been possible because of them. On behalf of all the contributors, I humbly dedicate this book to all the women and girls who have walked before us, are walking with us and will walk with us in the future on this journey called life. May you be inspired to live your life the fullest always, listening to the calling in your heart. So that was my dedication. So I'm so thankful for all of these ladies, and I don't have contact with all of them anymore. It's just the way it so happened after the book was launched. So I'm going to read you the first one, so I'll show you so you can see they're about. Just have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. So both sides of items with the numbers for the content. So 8 pages with typed on both sides or printed on both sides, and the name of the author and the title of what they wrote, and of course the inspiration number. So I'm going to start with number 1 because I think that was such a fitting start at the time. Now, the author of the first inspiration, her name is Nisha Ukani, and I can't even remember how I got to know her, but she's from Melbourne in Australia. And honestly, I'm trying to think now how I got to know her, but I met her at some event. So I knew her, or maybe it was an introduction via someone else. So her piece is called Just Breathe. And there was a bit of a funny side to this as well, because Nisha didn't really want to be in the book because she felt that she couldn't write. She didn't have any idea what she would write about. And I kind of cajoled her into it and encouraged her to write, even though she thought, she's not a good writer and she doesn't have any idea what she needs to write about. So I had a little bit of back and forth with her, conversations with her. Sorry, that's a little bit of background noise now. My daughter coming back from dinner. So we were on the phone, and because I was incredibly busy running around, and every time she tried to call me, I couldn't speak, or I was then either in the car trying to talk, and then she would feel that I was a bit stressed out. Hello, did you want to come on the line? How was dinner?
Good. I forgot to bring you fries.
How can you forget? Sorry. Okay, all right. She forgot to bring me something. She went to this food truck on the foreshore, and I asked her to bring me some food. Okay, kids. So Nisha Ukani then, so I coached her through what, I said to her, just write, whatever comes to your heart, just write and then write again. And so she did, and she sent it to me, and I looked over it, and it's not a very long piece. In fact, it's about 2 paragraphs. So that's, most of the messages are 2 to 3 paragraphs on the page because of the size of the book, and I didn't want it to be too long. So yeah, the book wasn't overfilled, but really, really short and sharp messages for people to be inspired. That was the whole idea behind it. So this is what she wrote, okay? So her title is Just Breathe. To start with, take a deep breath. I would love to share a thought of a little girl who is still in a woman. The inspiration you seek is already within your soul, evolving into a higher self of connecting to God. As a little girl, I always felt happy helping others. My secret was simple. I pray. And as I join my hands and bow my head, I always pray, send the right person at the right time with hope and belief. A little girl kept on telling me there's always a way. With this attitude in my life, I have come a long way with a kind heart, brave spirit, and beautiful mind. And as the time flies, ups and downs come along, but never shatter me. Be grounded to your roots for how you are created. Your optimistic faith will lead you to the path of achievement. One's soul is healed and purified by being with the child within you. So love yourself and your investments will never go wrong. Train your mind to see good in every situation life brings. A mantra that raises your inner peace and brings out love and care is to be grateful for everything. And then she finishes it off by Namaste. So Nisha is an artist, a jewelry designer, and a hairstylist from Melbourne, Australia. So this is what she wrote. And she's the one that said she doesn't know what to write about. She doesn't know how to write it. And I didn't really have to tweak very much. It was just, and it comes from the heart. And she went to her childhood and she just picked whatever she needed to pick. And I felt that because at first I wanted to put in or try to put in the author's birthday, or if it's on the 1st of January, then I put that person on the 1st of January. In the beginning it was fine. However, then it became a little bit complicated, because if two people shared a birthday, for example, or if there just happened to be none, there's 365 messages. So if there's nobody on the 1st of January, for example, then I would have had to pick something else. So I felt that this particular piece, it's Just Breathe, it just sets the pace for the whole book, for the whole year of just breathing. And whenever she called and I was on my way somewhere else, and the only way I could speak to her was whilst I was driving, so she would say, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. So that's kind of become like our little mantra whenever we message each other, or when we talk to each other, even though seldomly, we know that that's our little message for each other. So that's Nisha's Just Breathe. So I'm just going to just breathe. And I'm going to pick up another one. There's so many different ones in here. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a flick and wherever I stop. Okay, so the next one is by Rosemary Teed. And Rosemary Teed and we met each other a while back, and I can't remember exactly. I think we were colleagues or co-workers in some setting. So we've known each other, not been in contact very often, but Rosemary Teed is a very inspirational lady. Right now, she's got a not-for-profit agency or company, and what she does is she takes families who can't afford it. She organizes for them to go on holidays, because some families, especially families or women that have gone through particularly hard times through domestic violence, she works tirelessly to get those women and her families, her children, to go to holidays where they may never have been able to afford to go. So I'm very inspired by Rosemary, and her foundation is actually called the Magical Getaway Foundation. And it's actually in Australia the only national charity dedicated to giving first ever holidays to vulnerable or disadvantaged Australian children and their families to improve their health. I'm just reading this because it's something that she's advertising in the back of the book as well. So to families to improve their health, physical and emotional well-being to reach their full potential. We work with children and their families affected by domestic violence, along with other issues such as mental health, abuse, and poverty. 1 in 3 Aussie kids have never been on a holiday, not even on a weekend away. So, and then her foundation is called Magical Getaway Foundation. So I want to read Rosemary's message, and her message is, I'm looking at my glasses. I'm not sure whether it's my eyes or my glasses. They look a little bit foggy. So excuse me if you can't see me through the fog. Her message is called, Is Fear Holding You Back? My physical paralysis caused by fear was one of my greatest lessons. I'd just arrived in Fiji to attend a personal development course. Our first challenge was to climb a 50-foot pole harnessed, stand at the top, and jump to catch a trapeze. My next capacity to go out, if jolted, would be my opt-out. But I knew the real reason was my fear of heights. As people mastered the challenge, I found myself sharing idle conversation with a complete stranger. Then I heard, Rosemary, we'll hoist you up. No need to climb. I was terrified as I asked Craig, my new friend, for help. I could hardly put one foot in front of the other walking to the harness area. My feet felt as if they were covered with cement, and without any warning, both my hands curled over like I'd been crippled with arthritis. Minutes later, it was over. I'd even managed to let go of the safety rope. Your fears, like mine, are nothing more than false evidence appearing real. And she's written a footnote. My story is dedicated to Craig, who tragically passed away a few years later. I'll always remember his kindness when I asked for help. So that one, is fear holding you back? And I think fear is probably one of the biggest reasons why people are held back, why they don't do things that they don't want to do, and or that they really want to do. So fear of lots of different things: fear of success, fear of failure, other fears, phobias, for example. So, and in my life, there are a lot of fears. Like even right now, sometimes I really want to do something, and then I immediately, I'm afraid that I would fail. And then, of course, what would the people say? And boy, I have failed a lot. So that's Rosemary Teed. She's a business owner, speaker, author, family therapist from Melbourne, and also, of course, the founder of the Magical Getaway Foundation. So if you want to look that up or get in touch with Rosemary or myself, and I'll pass you on, or just have a look. I think it's Magical Foundation or getawayfoundation.org.au. Just have a look. .org. magicalgetawayfoundation.org. So that's hers. Now, I'll share one with you because I don't want it to go more than much longer, because there's a whole lot in here, and I'm so incredibly proud and honored to be a part of this. So I'm just going to do the flickety flick again. There's one, and I'm going to read the one on the right this time. So this one is by Hazel Theocarous. She used to live in, she's from the UK, and I think then she was in Australia for a while, and now she's back in the UK. Please excuse me if I get this wrong. And I think I met her through Melissa Groom, who's also in the book. So my throat is very dry. I'm just going to take another sip of water. So this title, her inspiration is called Be Inspired by Change. So she writes, there have been 2 miracles in my life so far. Goodbye. Have fun. Sorry, I'll start again. So Hazel wrote, be inspired by change. There have been 2 miracles in my life so far, my 2 wonderful children. This experience has made me realize the value of life and how important it is to see the joy again in everything which surrounds you on a daily basis through their eyes. Dynamics in your life change once you have a child, and it can sometimes feel that there is no longer any time for you or what you feel you were destined to do or achieve. But by including the needs of your children and family into your new life, you discover and realize that your achievements have only just begun and you have new goals. I worked in a corporate environment until my first son was school aged, managing my life and work around him until that point. Through all of that time, realizing that goalposts were changing and so was I. But it was when I saw my life through my 5-year-old child's eyes and his longing for time with me that the values in my life really changed. It was time to stop and start anew. My own business career began, and so did the next achievements in my life. It does take a lot of hard work to change your goals and values, but when you do, you realize that the joy and happiness you bring to your family and your life makes it all worthwhile. And Hazel is a small business coach and trainer from London in the UK. So I'm going to stop with Hazel. I won't read any more. However, with her talking about how children change your life, that's so incredibly true. If you have children, you may have a fair idea of what I'm talking about, what Hazel is talking about. If you don't, then you would be able to get the picture, because most likely you will have some connection with someone who has children, and they just rule the world. Sometimes they rule your world from the minute they're born, and it's incredible when we think about how this little human being takes over your whole life, and you spend hours and hours just looking after this precious being. And it's important in this busy world that we, as a parent, also realize that they grow up. They don't stay babies or young kids forever, or in our world. Eventually they move on. So if we can remember that they change, they allow us, that we need to change those goalposts because of them, and that we try and spend time with them, as much time as we can. And sometimes we do get busy with work and life, but we don't get the time. But if you can become aware of the fact that you can stop whatever it is that you're doing, or you can make time to do that what you absolutely need to do at a different time, to spend time, valuable time, time where you are totally present with them. I think that's an incredible tool to have. Because one day when they're not there anymore, then you'll start missing them and wish sometimes that you had spent more time with them. So take heed of that. So thank you, Hazel, for sharing with us how you were inspired by this change that your children brought along for you. So I'm going to finish off with these three. I know there's so many, and I wish I could share all of them with you. And yeah, I'm just, it's really incredible to be able to bathe in so many inspirational stories and messages of hope. And I would love to share some with you now, but I don't want to go too much over the time. So I want to thank you for watching tonight. If you are watching the replay, thank you for jumping on, and hope you were inspired by me sharing the book, or what the book is about, and some of the beautiful inspirational messages of hope. And Inspired Woman TV was actually created because of this book. It was just a spin-off of it, and I had this vision to create this circle of togetherness, this women across the world, connect them. And Inspired Woman TV is meant to be for women who want to share their wisdom, who want to share their inspiration, and uplift other women, give them hope, and with what it is that they're doing in this world, that they can share that and showcase their products or their services as well. So if you want to be a guest on Inspired Woman TV, please get in touch with me. You can Google me, you can send me a message on Inspired Woman TV, or go to inspiredwomantv.com and fill in the form there to apply to become a guest speaker. And if you want to listen or watch, just jump on YouTube or onto the website and sign up, or like the page Inspired Woman TV on Facebook, and you will get notifications when I go live again. Otherwise, stay well, stay healthy, keep inspiring, keep being inspired, and know that there's nothing that you can't beat in this world. So my name is Ruth Stuettgen. I'm the host and producer and creator of Inspired Woman TV, and I send you lots of love wherever you are, and see you next week on Inspired Woman TV. Have a good night. Bye for now.